Oh, that's vile. Hello everyone and welcome to another video, and today is all about Miss Abigail Bominable from Monster High. Now, I've been experimenting with G1 recently and I've realised that there is a lot of stuff that I need to learn when it comes to restoration of these dolls, and this one particularly is in horrific condition, if I'm completely honest. She has a lot of discoloration on her legs, on her knees. There's actually more on her neck when I had a closer inspection. I don't know if you can see that. But the worst part is this hair. Her head is rock solid, like hard, full of glue. Her hair's stuck down. It's all like one chunky piece. It's disgusting. And her headband is still tea-tied in. And I'm really scared about what's going to happen when I get that out, because this just looks awful. Her hair's also actually changed colour now I look at it a bit closer, but basically today we are going to be trying to tackle and restore her to a nice, pristine, brand new condition. So I've never done a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be doing today. So I've got my fingers crossed that this goes well, and if you're seeing it, hopefully everything works out fine in the end. So I've had a little think about this and I've come up with a game plan. And what I'm going to do is tackle the head and the body separately. So basically it just means that I can deal with both things at the same time, because I'm pretty sure this yellowing on the body is going to require some time in the sun. And while that's going on, I can tackle the head, the glue, the hair sticking together, the discoloration. Yeah, I think this is going to be, I mean, it's going to be fun, but I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge considering I've never done things like this before. So with that said, I think it's time that we start the process and give this girlie a clean. So I started with a simple scrub with a toothbrush with antibacterial soap, and then I moved on to dish soap for the hair. I was kind of hoping that some of this would move some of the yellowing on the back of the legs and maybe break up some of the glue. But it doesn't really matter if I did or not, because what I'm about to do is so stupid. So I went and boiled the kettle and let her sit for a second and then washed it out. And then when I tell you, I just want to hammer home the point that there was so much glue in her head. This clip was originally like 7 minutes long, and I had to dunk her like 3 or 4 times just to soften the head up enough to get it off the body. And then I made a decision that would haunt me for the rest of this restoration. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop her head in the boiling water as much as I can. And what I'm kind of thinking is maybe if I start by dissolving the glue and trying to get it out with like a screwdriver or something.
You idiot!
Yeah, so that was not the right decision, and then for some reason I just decided to do the body instead. Okay, so I'm going to go onto the body now, and basically what I'm trying to do is get rid of all the yellowing that's on the back and the front of the legs. So I had a little look online and I saw that this is apparently meant to be the best thing that you can use. I've heard some people have used acne cream, but according to someone who I will link down below, the Reddit thread and all that jazz, said that that is very damaging for dolls, so you should use something like this instead, which is a peroxide cream. It's used basically the same way as acne cream. You put it on the doll's body, you wrap them in cling film, and then you just leave them outside. Now the sun is coming in and out today, so I don't know how great this will be, but I think there's no point in like delaying it. I may as well just, while we've got sun, try and do something. Okay, so we are back to check the damage. So this is what happened basically after washing her, boiling her head to get it squishy, to get the body off, and the glue basically just ran rampant and it's just gone vile. From closer inspection, she does actually have some yellowing, if you can see that. So what I'm probably going to do is de-glue her and then de-yellow her. So I'm still kind of holding on to the hope that this won't require a reroute. If it does require a reroute, I'm not really sure if it's really worth it, to be completely honest. But as I said, this is just an experiment. So what I'm going to do, and what I've heard about now, is that obviously there is glue inside there, and this head is so rock solid that I need to get rid of some of that. So I think what I'm going to do is boil the head and try and scrape out some glue, and hopefully the hair will remain intact. And then from there, I think I'm going to try baby powder. So let's give that a go. So at this moment, I still think I'm in control and I still think I know what I'm doing. So let's just enjoy the calm while it lasts. This is a mess. This is a mess. So it was at this point that I realised that I'd made a really big mistake and made this whole process so much more difficult, and that it would have made more sense to try and scoop the glue out when it wasn't sticking to everything and melted and runny and horrible. So then the panic ensued, and you are about to watch about 30 minutes of chaos condensed into maybe like a minute of me just being like, right, I need to try the baby powder. Is this gonna work? Will it clump? No, it won't. It just turned to slush inside the head. Vile. Abbey is just a disaster. Honestly, this is a disaster. It's bad. It's bad. I'm going to try some cream cleaner, and if not, it's going to be WD-40. Because I'm really not sure what I can do to fix this with how much glue has seeped out. God, that's what it was. It really works. I mean, they're still yellow, but it's nowhere near as what it was before. That is insane. I then decided to go and grab off-brand Sif to see whether or not that would work, and spent time trying to massage that into the head, and then that did nothing, to the point that it left me thinking, well, I guess WD-40 is the only option left. So this seems to be going really well, to be honest. I feel like this is the most straightforward part, and I thought this was the part that I was going to struggle with the most, but it would appear that the yellowing is really like coming out. So we're having good fortune today. I would say that the yellowing we've made such a significant like dent on that, and I need to just kind of like have a little check, because this is the second application I've done today. And I would say the WD-40 has actually managed to disperse the glue that was in the hair. Now, the doll smells like WD-40 and it is not a nice scent, but I'm sure we can find a way to get rid of it. The glue is still in there. The glue is still glue, and the head is still really hard. But I've got my fingers crossed that once this is dry, I can reassess and see what needs to be done, because I'm not against doing another WD-40 treatment, but yeah, let's see. And now let's get to the main event, which is checking out how this yellowing has gone. I'm not doing this one-handed, it's insane. Okay, wow. The yellowing is like... I think this is like completely gone. No way. I thought, this is the funny part, is I thought this was going to be the hardest bit. I thought this was going to be the thing that would like give the most challenge, that the glue seepage wouldn't be that bad, but this is still to be dealt with, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Let's have a look at the neck peg. Yeah, that's gone. So that has been a success. Now we just need to focus on her and the restoration will be complete, because the clothes were easy to fix, to clean. So it's just her now. Please cooperate, Abbey. So from here, I just decided to do a little purple shampoo treatment to help tone the hair and basically de-yellow it. And funny story, this actually helped de-yellow the vinyl along the hairline, so I didn't have to do anything extra. And then from there, I just did a regular condition and comb through to detangle the hair and get it into a nice, better state than it was. And the final step from this whole process was just to give her a little wash with some antibacterial soap again to make sure that all of the products had come out and that she stopped smelling like WD-40. And then I just did a bicarbonate of soda wash as well. And I decided not to do a boil wash just because I thought that would be playing with fire. So we're back and it's time for the final result, and I'm really happy with how she's turned out. I actually don't think I managed to portray what bad, terrible condition this doll was in. Honestly, to be at this point where her hair has like loads of movement, is nice and soft, is not yellow, and the back of the legs are in incredible condition. The discoloration all across here is completely gone, and I think that's a miracle. Yeah, I'm just really happy with these results. I think we did lose quite a bit of hair when I was detangling and conditioning and all that jazz, and I'm pretty sure from touching this and feeling it, which is the same thing, I'm pretty sure this is Kanekalon, and I don't really like that hair fibre very much. It's one of my least favourites. There are a lot of flyaways. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there is a lot of breakage. But I still think it's a miracle that we're in this position now, because she looks incredible. Honestly, she looks so, so good. And I can't really say anything more than I'm just really happy with how she's turned out. And it's made me definitely more excited about Monster High. I think I've viewed them from afar for a long time. because while restoration is one of my absolute favourite things with dolls, I really enjoy it's creative in a way, like you are giving something new life, you are making something old turn new. It's just fun, and to be able to completely change something and be able to be like, this is my work and this is something that I did, is one of my favourite parts of doll collecting. But now that we've talked about the results, I'm going to talk more about the process, which follows on from really what I've just said. I would say that this was both really easy and also a bit stressful, if I'm honest, which has kind of tainted how I feel about this whole process. Am I happy with the results? Yes. Was getting here a little bit harder than I expected? Yes. I think, for one, the body itself was the thing that I was most worried about. I've never dealt with discoloration on a doll before, so I wanted to be as meticulous and sure of what I was doing. And whilst it's not necessarily technically the hardest thing, I did a lot of reading online, on Reddit threads, on YouTube videos, watching YouTube videos, all that stuff, to make sure that the products I was using were the right thing for this, so that I wouldn't cause any additional damage, and that this is something I could do in the future and I could replicate and be sure that what I was doing was the right thing. And I didn't end up going with acne cream because I read a lot about how the long-term results of those could potentially be damaging, and that it could continue to bleach after it had been used and washed off. Now, I'm not sure if that was specifically to do with vinyl versus the plastic of the body, but I opted to go away from that and ended up using I think it's 12% peroxide 40 volume hair product, basically for hair. And that worked so quickly, and I'm really happy with the results. And from doing a bit of reading, and I'm going to link the Reddit thread down below because there was so much information there that was really, really good. That seems to be the safest and the best thing for the body. Now, the hair is a completely different story. As I was only trying this, I didn't want to shell out and buy Goo Gone or other products like that. So I was trying to be as mindful as possible with what I already had. So I think the main place where this went wrong was the very beginning. I decided to do the head and the body separately, and I boiled the head to get it off, which on reflection, I don't know why I did that, because that is so stupid, because I think I basically just set the glue that was already awful. As I said, I don't think I managed to articulate and show how bad the glue from this hair was. And I think I just made it worse, so much worse. It matted, I could feel it. It was awful. It was so bad. So my hierarchy really was to, how I was going to tackle this was try and get the glue out first, then move on to the talcum powder method. Then it was cream cleaner. I didn't have the Cif cream cleaner, so I just used a regular cream cleaner, a value one that I have at home. And then the bottom of the list was WD-40 because we had some lying around. Now, the glue from boiling the hair seeped so much, and I thought at one point, I was like, this isn't going to be savable. Then I tried the talc, and it just became slush inside the head. I think maybe it was dumb of me to do it right after it had been boiled, but it just became a paste that just I couldn't even get out of the head. It just kind of mixed around inside the head. Then the cream cleaner, I don't think did anything. Maybe it does specifically have to be the Cif cream cleaner, but I don't feel like it did anything. And then I just pulled the trigger and was like, WD-40, let's just do it, let's see what happened. And almost instantly, the results, as I was kneading it into the, massaging it into the hair, I could already see white stuff started to seep out, and it felt so much better. Now, I'm not sure about the long-term effects of WD-40 because there's been two camps on it. There have been videos and people saying that it's amazing, and then there's been other people that have been like, ooh, maybe don't do that because it could potentially make the vinyl brittle in the future. and then obviously that'll just break the doll's head. So, I mean, for right now, I'm very happy with how she's turned out, and honestly, it was so good. But the other thing is, that kind of makes me worried about the future of collecting Monster High dolls, because of the other ones that I have, obviously, I'm going to try and give those a go and see, are they easier to restore when they've got less glue seepage? And I'm just worried about the potential future of trying to restore them. And what happens if I get them and they have as much glue seepage as this doll had? And what happens if in the future this doll's head cracks because of the WD-40? And I know that's all like hypothetical things that may happen in the future, but the thing that I like about restoration is knowing that they're going to last longer. Like, for example, Bratz and Bratzillas, whilst Bratzillas might not be the best made things ever, they don't have this glue problem. I don't know. I'm just a bit apprehensive about how I'm going to go forward collecting Monster High dolls. Now, I don't want this to be like a negative thing. It's just, as someone who's not been in this space before and has not had to deal with this a lot, Bratz and Bratzillas and all other brands that I've collected so far have been really simple, really straightforward. Some issues may have occurred with age and stuff like that, but I feel like these have significantly more problems, and that kind of makes me think, like, do I want to financially invest in collecting dolls that may fall apart more easily and require more attention for less of an output? I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, I don't want to end this video on a negative note because I'm so happy with how this turned out. Toning the hair made a huge difference as well. Like, this is, I mean, it's not necessarily showing up as much on camera, but this is more of like it's still blonde, but it's a very light blonde. And potentially I could try and make it even lighter because I feel like it would make sense for Abbey to have like white hair. Anyway, yeah, I'm really happy with how she turned out. I think this is potentially going to be donated to my niece, just because as much as I really like this doll, she was more for an experiment. She's got a complete outfit. It's not her complete outfit, but I think my niece would really enjoy this doll. The only thing, which I probably should have mentioned previously, is that I think I managed to, whilst keeping most things intact, I think I managed to damage the neck peg just a little bit, not massively, so her head's a little bit looser than it was before, but that's okay because maybe she'll just go on display. But yeah, this was a really long outro. I hope what I said makes sense. I just kind of wanted to share it with people because I haven't done this before. I am going to restore the other Monster High dolls that I have bought, and I will document that as well, and maybe it'll be a different process entirely. Maybe the glue won't be so bad. But that is all I have to say today. Yeah, this has been, I was going to say fun, but I would say this has been a learning experience, and that's good enough for me, really. So yeah, I'll throw some B-roll at the end so you can have a proper look, but feel free to give me some more tips of how you deal with glue seepage, with how you restore these dolls. Does it get less, I don't know, stressful for you after you've done a couple? But let me know, give me some tips. Let me know how you feel about how she's turned out, because I'm really happy with her, to be honest. So yeah, that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you didn't mind the long outro at the end, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.